what would you say are key components of your morning routine that you've kept like throughout your journey?
So another thing that I wanna touch on is the fact that, as we spoke about in one of the previous episodes, for different stages of the journey, you need different things, right? So for example, when I started out, I was really, doing a lot of affirmations, a lot of, gratitude journaling, a lot of meditation. And still, to this day, I still do a lot of those things. I'll in the morning, I'll still do, maybe not as many affirmations, right, as I used to, but I still do affirmations. I'll do meditation, right? But for me nowadays is finding a way to just finding a bit of time before the team meeting, right? Which we'll talk about in just a bit. So whether that's meditation or just being present while I move my body a little bit around the house, right? For me, a big thing to really start the day is making myself a really nice tea, right? So that's kind of what I do. I'll wake up. I'll have a cold shower, right? And I'll get myself ready. I'll have a tea, maybe a bit of healthy stuff in there, like vitamin C and a bunch of other cool stuff. And then I'll take a bit of time to meditate. I'll take a bit of time to make my bed and make sure that everything is organized and I've structured. The house is looking clean. That for me is really important to start the day. I'll do a few gratitudes and then I'll get right into it.
Awesome. And missing from there, and just to address it as well, as the fact that breakfast only comes later, down in the morning, right? And a lot of people don't have breakfast altogether and choose to do intermittent fasting, but you actually have breakfast, just not first thing.
Yeah. And it's funny, right? Because if any of the mentees are watching, like they already know the structure and kind of what we do in the morning with the affirmations and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm a big proponent of not having food until later, right? Now, again, this is not for everyone. Different body composition and different body styles will need different things, right? And so it's finding what works for you. For example, I've done a lot of intermittent fasting where I would literally eat at like 2 p.m. and I wouldn't eat anything in between, but that lost, that led to a lot of body weight loss. That if that's a word. So yeah, the way I do it is we'll get straight into the team meeting, right? Which you're now a part of physically. So we'll get straight into the week into the team meeting. We'll get crystal clear on the priorities for the day, what everyone is doing, and that. What do you feel about that team meeting? Like, what are some things that you think are the benefits of just talking to the team?
Honestly, that was probably one of the biggest takeaways I've had so far since coming here. Like the fact that, not first thing, because you wake up, you have your morning routine, and that is important also to have that time before.
So we'll have like 30 minutes before, roughly, right? 40 minutes before.
And then 7 a.m. hits, and it's in the desk, and everybody just kind of reporting what they do. And in terms of what it brings, I think that it has a lot of power in actually bringing accountability, in making, you're not only accountable to other people, but also to yourself, because you've just said you're going to do these things, and you want to be congruent and get it done with. So yeah, that's something that I think is very useful. But having said that, you do have an environment here where, with Carlos living and working here as well, and Augusta doing things that, like within your businesses that she can contribute to as well, that does make it easier than people who have it like fully online, right? For those who don't have the capabilities of having like physical in-person team meeting, how would you recommend like getting around that to still be able to include that kind of element to the morning?
So at 9:30 today, I had a team meeting with my lead media buyer, right? So that's the thing, like you don't have to have in-person meetings, and that's another thing that I want people to take away. Like this is obviously because now I found a lot of value at this stage of the journey that I'm currently at, having people physically, right? And it doesn't mean that have to have them for like the whole year. Like it could be like a little trip, right? Or like just coming together and there's something about having people in one room, in the same room, that leads to big breakthroughs usually, right? So it can be online, purely for through Zoom. For the longest time, I was just speaking to my team members through Zoom. I've never met, at this point I have, because we have clients now in Spain. But when I started my agency in London, like I never met my clients face to face. A lot of them were based out in the US, and that was not a problem. So no, you don't have to have a work environment and a cool office, like not at all. And that's the beauty about online business, is the fact that you can start from your childhood bedroom, like I did, and speak to people all over the world who haven't met you physically.
Awesome. And I think, that concept of at least knowing for sure what you're going to do at the start of the day and having that written out, even if it is planned the day before, or if the first thing you do when you wake up is plan your day, I think there's a lot of power in that.
Yeah. I think, one of the, and we'll touch on it as we go through the day, but one of the things that we do is, and that is also very important, is you plan tomorrow today, right? So you get crystal clear on the things that you are going to do tomorrow, so that when we sit at that table, like we already have a really good idea of what needs to be accomplished. It's just a matter of like seeing how it integrates with the team, and also checking on the performance and the progress from yesterday.